Well, have you ever driven on a street here in the islands and wondered, where did that name come from? Well, that's why we have our weekly Aloha Authentic segment to help answer that question and share mo'olelos behind the given name. This month, we've been highlighting streets that share basic Hawaiian knowledge, and this week, we're talking about numbers. In the Ahupua of Kalihi, which is in the moku of Kona here on Oahu, stands a street that brings our attention to how to count in Hawaiian language. We're talking about ʻElua Street. The word ʻElua is the Hawaiian word for the number 2. Learning how to count in Hawaiian may sound intimidating, however, it can become just as easy as counting in English. There is a pattern that takes place, and if you can remember how to count from 1 to 10, you'll have an easier time remembering how to count from 11 and beyond. So, how do we count from 1 to 10? Well, that's easy. It goes like this. ʻEkahi, ʻElua, ʻEkolu, ʻEha, ʻElima, ʻEono, ʻEhiku, ʻEwalu, ʻEiwa, ʻUmi. This is something that can be used in everyday conversation rather than just referring to something like how old we may be. For example, if we're referring to a certain number of something, let's say 4 birds, you would say ʻEha manu. Did you know? Now you do.
Thank you very much, Kamaka. Now, I just have some questions because you talk about the patterns from before 1 to 10. What about after when you're counting higher than that?
So it does become a little tricky. However, if you can remember 1 through 10, it's easier to remember how the numbers follow. So if we're looking at the teens, say 11 to 19, we're going to use the word umi kuma. Now, you can see umi is the same as number 10. Kuma is a word that you should remember because that's going to be following in every number after that. So say we say 14, umi kuma ha. We put in the word for 4 in that line. If we're talking about 20s, it has its own structure, kind of similar, where it keeps the word kuma, but it starts with iwakalua. Iwakalua kuma hiku, for example, would be 27. Now, from 30s and beyond, we're using a structure that always starts with kana. Kana kolu is 30. As you can see, kolu is also the word for number 3. Kana kolu kuma ono, let's say, is 36. If we're talking about 40, we're going to use kana and just put ha instead for 40, and 50 is kana lima. 60 is kanono and beyond. So that's a pattern that you can remember, just placing in what you remember from 1 through 9 in those lines.
So if people at home are wondering if they want to do this on their own, what's the online website?
Yeah, so online dictionary that can be found anywhere across the world, wehewehe.org, wehewe.org, and you can plop in whatever word, Hawaiian or English, and it will give you the opposite translation.
And I know a lot of people at home, they're watching this and they're like, hey, I want to nominate a street and request for you to highlight. How do they go about doing that?
Of course. And if you've been watching from the beginning of Aloha Authentic, January makes 1 year since we've been doing these street names. So we want to give honor and put it out for viewers. If you have a street in particular, email that street to me at kamaka.pili@khon2.com, and we'll try our best to fit it in throughout the month of January.
1 year already.
1 year.
That is so awesome. Can you also tell us about your new Aloha Authentic service?
Same thing. kamaka.pili@khon2.com. If there's a Hawaiian word that you're interested of how to pronounce, email that to me and I will help you via email.
All right, thank you very much, Kamaka.